Orgasmic enlightenment, where the sexual and spiritual come together. I'm Kim Anami, and I'm a holistic sex and relationship coach and a vaginal weightlifter. In this show, we explore all things intimate. I believe that our sexual energy is life force, creative energy, and we can use it to shape our worlds, strengthen our relationships, and self-actualize. I blend the most avant-garde information from neuroscience, ancient sexual practices like Tantra and Taoism, to renegade wellness modalities to show you how to create gourmet sex in your lives. Come one, come all. Why is modern dating broken? One sentence answer: because everyone is lying and hiding. To be honest, I hadn't really known what was going on in modern dating until recently because A, I've never dated, so, whatevs. B, most of my relationships have been unconventional and they've started unconventionally. So they fall out of the normal parameters of dating or what people think it is. And C, we fall madly in love from the start and we just get on with it. I think my success in dating comes from the fact that I've never done it, at least not the way most people think of it. And I've been with gods, a few boys, some men, but mostly gods. The rules are different for gods. They bypass all of the stupid human shit. So these are the rules for dating gods. I've got 10 of them for you. The first, be honest everywhere, all the time. Truth is a divining rod. We know it when we hear it. When we're being lied to or information withheld from us, we may not know exactly what the lie is about, but we can sense that it's a lie. Every time you lie and you think you're oh so clever because you think you've gotten away with it, the truth is you've never gotten away with a single lie. Well, look, maybe sometimes you do, meaning you lie and you get yourself into or out of a particular situation because of the lie. But the other person always knows. On some level, they know. So if you're lying to people you're in relationship with or want to be in relationship with, you're shooting yourself in the foot because they are going to clock your lies. And instead of starting with a clean slate, a tabula rasa, and building trust with each other, you're actually contributing to the demise of your relationship before it even starts. You've put in this self-imploding bomb. So the places where you do cultivate mystery, where you intentionally remain mysterious, are your day-to-day struggles, challenges, and interactions. At least initially. So you aren't hiding them, but you also are communicating that you are capable of solving your own problems. You aren't looking for your partner to be a mother or a father or a babysitter. You retain the mystery in not sharing the tedium of your day. I was at the shop and I was going to pick the navel oranges, but then I thought, maybe I'll try the Valencia. But, I realized I hadn't had grapefruits in a while. Who gives a fuck? Keep it to yourself. But tell the truth and express how you feel about the person. Tell the truth about what you want. Tell the truth about the beauty you see in them. Be 100% honest and transparent about all of those things. Number 2, claim them. Plant a flag and get in there. Choose them. Your nonchalance, and I spoke about this, was it last episode, the one before, about chalant the fuck up. Love bomb me. Your nonchalance is killing your game and the fabric, the integrity, the magic of your potential relationship. Showing someone how little you care is not the way to start off a great love affair. Don't you want a love story for the ages? Passion, intrigue, intense depth of feeling. I certainly do. I want nothing less. So stake your claim. Own how much you want them. This is confidence. Lying, pretending you don't care, that is insecurity. This is stupid human behavior. Be a god. Don't man up or woman up, god up. Number 3, shoot your motherfucking shot. The idea of the pickup line has been immortalized because in some ways, that's all it takes. All you need to do is crack the door open. Now, you don't need the perfect line. If you do come up with one, then bingo, fantastic. But it has to be relevant to the moment so that the other person knows it was off the cuff and you don't have a cheat sheet of lines that you carry around with you. One of my favorite lines is anything showing a man's stamina. I'm an ultramarathoner. I'm a long distance runner. I'm an endurance athlete. Duly noted. So the greatest in the moment line anyone ever used, and to call it a line does it a disservice because it was a stroke of genius, was from a man I'd met briefly earlier in the day. He paddled up to me in the surf and he said, I've already got your name tattooed on my body. And he did. That's all he said. And then he paddled away. So he had both of his siblings' names inscribed on him in Sanskrit, no less. And one of his siblings had my name. Fucking brilliant. He asked me to marry him the next day, and I may have said yes. Some people live in boldness, and I love these people. I will fly across continents and toss caution to the wind because boldness is everything to me. Courage, strength, serious outrageousness, the stuff of life. Number 4, stop diluting your energy. Stop fucking around with a bunch of randos and filler dating fluffers that you don't really care about, whether you are literally fucking them or just texting them or in a talking stage or you have your roster. All of this dilutes your energy. Now, keeping pure energy is easy to do if you follow the Anami adage of number 5. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. So for all of the anti-chemistry cowards out there looking for platonic friends they can be roommates with and avoid the fact that they're not ever having sex, look, if you don't have a strong reaction to someone, a strong attraction to them, don't bother. Being unsure, maybe having to rationalize them in some way, that's a no. People do this all the time with everything, and it might be because you don't exactly know what a fuck yes is, right? So years ago, I was house hunting with my partner of the time, and the first house we went into was big, beautiful, mansion-y place, looked super modern, and we get in there and I mean, how hard is it to be an architect? It's apparently really hard. Anyway, the way it was built, it had all these weird angles and things that just didn't highlight the view, and I wanted to love it, but I just couldn't. I could see myself trying to rationalize some good things about it, but ultimately it was like, I don't think it's the place. We go to see another place. It's on the lower end, small, boxy, shoddy. Okay. And then I think that one, my partner was trying to rationalize that one. And then the third one, we walk up these stairs into the house, and it's pretty much floor to ceiling windows the whole way around. So half of that is an ocean view. The other half is a rainforest view. Stunning. And we walk in and we're just filled with this energy of light and bliss and wonder and awe. And we both had it. I could see it on his face. He could see it on mine. And we brought a couple of friends with us, and they had the exact same reaction. And it was just like, yes, fuck yes, this is it. When you know, you know. And it was interesting to see those other contrasts where you're kind of like a scarcity mentality, right? Like, oh, like could we make it work? Like there wasn't a lot of options available. It was a very particular area that we wanted to live in. And so that was creeping in, right? Like, could we make this work? Until we saw that one. And then it was like, okay, that's what it feels like. So someone, in terms of this immediate recognition, I'm a big fan of that as the only way, really. I mean, could things develop over time with someone? Could a previously platonic connection morph into something else? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if there were some kind of constrictions in place that you couldn't transgress, and then you could, right? Because that barrier was there, maybe something could open up. Maybe. I'd say overall, apply the rule that when you meet someone and let's say they're interested in you and you have no interest back or mediocre interest, that's a no, right? I bet that you always know. I always know. Talking yourself into it and settling and checking it out and, oh, passion is bad anyway. It's just cowardice. Those butterflies, that ping, that shock, that energy, that's what's going to change your life. Move toward it. Run toward it. Drop your fucking burdens and sprint towards it. And then the same applies the other way. If they seem lukewarm on you, like they could take you or leave you, then fuck it, move on. As in, don't fuck it, just get away. I mean, what is the point of being with anyone if not to make them feel loved and not to have this huge, massive, life-changing experience? Isn't that it? Isn't that the entire thing? How deeply, life-changingly you can love and be loved? Where you open and you unlock something in each other that propels you both into superhuman territory. That ought to be your relationship raison d'etre. I mean, it's mine. It's the whole point in Anami Land. If it doesn't change your life, what are you even doing? And then my job is to adore and illuminate and fuck the demons out of and love the genius into my person. And they do it for me. There's some weird sentiment out there that these days we're meant to hide how much we like each other. Imagine trying to create a relationship based on how little you're into each other. So yeah, don't date filler or fluffers. Only date people you tremendously admire and take seriously. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. Number 6, minimize texting. Texting has one purpose and one only in the initial stages, and this is to make plans, not to have discussions, not to get to know each other. It's to put a time and a place in writing. Or pick up the phone, leave a voice note or a video note, but do not get to know someone through these means. This is ludicrous. If you live in the same area, do not waste time on the phone. We never did this in my era. We had telephones, we just didn't have cell phones. We met up immediately. We never even conceived that we would spend hours or really any time on the phone together. Unless you're long distance, then that's all you've got. But even then, I'd be gunning for a meeting ASAP. Calling and texting is for making plans. It's for check-ins if you really aren't very near to each other physically, but this is not how you get to know someone because you can't. You just can't. And maybe that's part of the problem with modern dating is you miss everything. All the human signals you need to make better decisions. How someone smells, how they move, how they look at you, how they touch you. Even if they just graze your shoulder, what's the energy exchange that happens there? How does it make you feel? Malcolm Gladwell, in his book Blink, talks about how your body knows everything in microseconds, milliseconds before your mind knows anything. It picks up on every single most subtle cue. You know all of it. Did you know that people's smells change based on their emotions? Fear has a scent. Openness and trust have a scent. Lying has a scent. When you are face to face in the flesh with someone, you are gathering all this essential information from each other instantly. All of the subtext that lies beneath your words, looking into each other's eyes in between the talking, the pauses, what you read there, the subtle lines that show up on their face when they're thinking or feeling something. It's all the most essential information without which you will be grappling in the dark, blind. I have seen couples have full-fledged arguments over text message. Do not do this. Be a fucking grown up and get together. Use the phone as a tool, then get in your car, get on a plane, and make it happen. Number 7, regarding dating sites. So I've never been on one. I don't recommend them, but I don't recommend against them. I'm neutral, I suppose. I have known some people who met their one and only on a dating platform, but most of those stories are from years back. And I think the whole cultural landscape has changed, and it sounds like even the apps have changed. Someone showed me their Bumble and Raya and Hinge profiles because I was curious. I was surprised at how little information is on these. I don't know how the apps even match people, really. And I heard someone talking about how he met his wife on a dating site from 15 or 20 years ago. I think it was eHarmony. He said there were no less than something like 50 questions to answer to complete your bio. I can see that making a more accurate match. And maybe the matches were too accurate and the dating sites were putting themselves out of business. If you're gonna do it, be bold. Put some outrageous shit in your profile. Weed out the normies and the borings. Go fishing for big, outrageous, exotic fish. Number 8, meeting people out in the wild. I get the sense that people are much less used to this now. I don't know, because this was the only way we ever used to meet people. If you saw someone who you thought was attractive from across the room or across the park, you'd hold eye contact and then you would literally move towards them. I've had people approach me anywhere and everywhere in public, from the gym to grocery, clothing stores, to hiking trails, to airplanes, to just walking down the street, anywhere. Everywhere. And maybe we were just more on the alert for those moments because you had to grab them. If you missed it, then it was gone. It was do or die. They'd walk away and you would never see them again. Whereas now, when people are all available online, perhaps this sense of urgency and catching the moment is less pressing. People don't really jump in and shoot their shot in a meaningful, powerful way. Instead of smashing it in that one moment that you've got, they dilly-dally, they fuck around, they talk around the truth of the attraction, and no one really knows what the fuck is going on. So my advice is psych yourself up to be ready for anything, anywhere. And to practice, strike up playful conversations with people when you're out in public. Even if you're not attracted to them, just do it. Even as you're walking your dog or you're in a store lineup, if anyone goes to stores anymore, compliment the dog or someone's outfit or their hair or anything. I do this all the time. When I see someone with a cute shirt or, particular dog breed or whatever, I just strike up conversations, right? You get used to being social again and making connections. And then it makes it easier when you spot someone you actually are attracted to just do the same thing. You find something to strike up a conversation. You might not have the world's most killer pickup line, but you don't need it. All you need to do is start talking to them. And everything that I've been reading lately or watching about the dating world is on how people have app fatigue and dating fatigue and so much pessimism overall. Whatever has been happening over the past decade or so does not seem to be working. And now, wonderfully, we're seeing a massive push for people wanting real life experiences with each other, live events, social interactions, and here in Anami Land, we are part of that. We're bringing back our in-person retreats. We're planning all sorts of events for this year and the following year. We are launching our Anami Land online membership platform for people to connect virtually, and then we want to bring these connections in person so we can meet and adventure together. You can go and check that out, kimanami.com/Anamiland. Okay, number 9, I had to include this because I've seen it so much, and okay, talking about your exes and your unresolved trauma from your narcissist former partner. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone who does this is talking about their so-called narcissist partner, but people who talk about their exes a lot in general, I'm always taken aback when people do this because I don't do it. I don't feel any need to do it. And when people do, why? Why do you think I want to hear all about your exes? If you have unresolved relationship issues, which if you can't stop talking about them, then you clearly do, get a therapist. Therapy is the best thing ever. You can dump all over your therapist and they have to listen to you because it's their job. And when you're done, you don't have to ask, oh, and how are you doing? No, it's all about you. And this process ought to bring you some insight and healing. So don't ever talk about your past partners. Ever. There's no need to. I mean, maybe briefly in passing, if one of them, one of these past partners is the mother or father of your children. But if you do, then talk about them in a legendary way. A phrase or two that describes them as a heroic, poetic tribute. Because if you had children with them, at some point, they were the love of your life. Be noble. Do not bitch and moan and complain about them ever. If you're tempted, if you feel the urge, get thee to your therapist and dump it all there, and don't come back until you can actually speak about them in the positive. I did an episode recently about the people who go around all day, every day, blaming the narcissists in their lives for their woes, for how much they were hurt, blah, blah, blah. No one gives a shit. Therapize that stuff until you stop your whining and you get rid of your need to publicly, constantly identify with your whining and your trauma. Learn from it. Become wise and superior and alchemized. That is hot. And lastly, number 10, assume the best will happen because you are an awesome and lovely fucker who deserves deep love and radical, life-changing, seeing God sex. When you have an interaction with someone and you aren't sure what's going on, you have a few choices to make. See if you can clear it up in real time with them. See what's happening. Get to the bottom of it. In the meantime, choose the narrative that frames them as having the best intentions and choose the narrative that frames you as being an amazing person. So you're looking at things in the most optimistic way. And the reason I say this is that people can get anxious and worried that they're being rejected, and they pull out prematurely. They withdraw or they sabotage and they don't clarify. And we all have our little defense mechanisms and pieces of us that we can falter, especially in the early stages. So hold the most positive, high-minded, evolved perspective for both of you. And people tend to live up to this, yourself included, when you see the highest and best in someone. And look, I realize there are exceptions to this, and I'm not trying to say that we need to rationalize bad behavior because that's something else. But what I'm saying is that you assume the best before you assume the worst. And if you keep getting it proven to you that you should assume the worst, then you do. But there are ways in which we can sabotage, and this is a safeguard against this, is to assume that you're worthy of the most epic, life-changing love and that this person could give it to you, and then see what happens. So the big question is, what kind of energy and outlook are you holding when you are, quote, dating? Like, what is the point here? Aren't you looking for deep love? Don't you want to find someone to love and to be loved? Like, isn't the purpose to make each other exalted and bring out the absolute highest and best in each other, rather than thinking of this as some weird game and contest for who gives less of a shit? What if you were honest and had integrity and you adored them and they adored you from the outset, right? That's what you hold in your mind. So the Anami rules of dating are: tell the truth, deeper than you think you can. Work on your shit. Do not bring your unresolved issues to your partner. Plant a flag and get in there. Claim them, choose them boldly and brilliantly. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. Minimize texting and behind a screen interactions and prioritize in-person meetings. Be kind and generous and loving and act with integrity. Approach people in the wild. Assume that you will meet them anywhere and everywhere. Be on the lookout and be ready to rumble. Do not talk about your exes, and assume the best will happen because you are an awesome and lovely fucker who deserves deep love and cataclysmic sex. I have a lot more to say on this, and I will be saying it in our Anami Land community. This is a place for singles and couples to get together and connect. So singles can use it as a dating site. Couples can use it as a place to make friends, and everyone will use it as a place to keep going in Anami Land and take your next steps. And to create this incredible community of gods and goddesses, because that is what Anami means. It's the endless plane of heaven. That's a Sanskrit word that I love because it symbolizes everything I adore in life. This is a space for Anami aficionados to connect in a godlike, rarefied atmosphere. Because like I said, the rules for gods are different. It is a different playing field. Enter if you dare. We open the doors very, very soon. Come to kimanami.com/anamiland. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and send somebody else the gift of a multi-orgasmic and transformational love life by sharing this episode with them. If you'd like to go deeper into all things orgasms, sign up for my free Orgasmopedia series, where you'll learn about 9 different types of orgasms everyone can have. Go to kimanami.com and you'll see the sign up there. Come one, come all.